In the story, it is a detective who is kind of on the outs with the force because he himself, turned in a dirty cop, and he's outed. He's kind of out. He's on the outside, and throughout the course of our movie, he kind of gets called out by this new killer, and this new killer has a lot of similarities to the original Jigsaw killer, and he has a personal stake in the case. His best friend was the first one killed in it. And he begins to follow these lines of clues and begins to connect dots and similarities between what's happening now and what's happened in the past. And we realize this new killer is targeting cops. And his father may be involved in this. So, it's kind of a timely movie. It's a killer targeting corrupt officers in this precinct. And Chris trying to figure out who's doing it and stop it before everyone around him dies. First off, you have Zeke, who, we've had police in a lot of the Saw films, almost, I think, every single one of them. We wanted to go completely different. We wanted it to feel completely different, and there's no one better than Chris Rock on that. Not only do you have his original idea, you have him playing this detective, but I think the first twist is he's not playing it as a comedian. He's playing it very serious. Chris Rock's played a cop before in the past in the Lethal Weapon franchise, but here he is doing it now in a very serious and dramatic turn. So going with that Saw, you never know what's coming, casting right off the bat. And I think Chris is really going to surprise people with his dramatic turn that he does in this. For those that love his stand-up, you're going to get a couple jokes in there. But it's a very serious film, and he does it very seriously, and I think he's great in it. And he commits. Marcus Banks, legendary Sam Jackson, who is cool and badass in person as he is on camera. He brought a gravitas to the role. And, it was funny, a lot of times we really struggled over what to have him say because we wanted to make sure that his words carried weight. But then he comes on set and his looks carry weight, his glances. What he doesn't say is sometimes more terrifying than what he does say. And so I think that we were extremely lucky to have him on set. And also, this guy is like an expert in anything badassery, holding guns, doing surveillance walks as he's walking with his flashlight and going around. Because he's got years and years and years and years of just playing badasses. So having him come into our world and play a badass was awesome. My hope is that it will be a welcome home. It'll be a, we know you missed us, we're back type of feeling, where it's something new, wholly original, yet services what they loved and admire about the Saw franchise. We are not just another Saw sequel. This is something that is new, that is different, but it's got everything you loved about the original Saw films in it as well. So it's exciting, but I hope that they are, they go on the twists, the turns, the traps, and go on this ride with this, because I think it's a crazy one. When I came in to do Saw 2, my first thing I said to Mark and Oren was, I got to do something different than Saw did. I was like, Saw already works. It was its own thing. I don't want to copy James Wan. I'm going to pay homage to it. I'm going to use the same color palette. I'm going to do the same things, but I've got to be different. Then I made 3 films that were wildly similar in the way that they were shot and the way they were edited. So coming back on to Saw 9, I had to do the same thing again. I had to do something completely different. And that means even being completely different than what I did before. So I tried to approach this differently in the way that I shoot it, in the way that I approach the actors, the way that we're doing the traps. Everything is just different. So in a lot of respects, it's like going to Vegas, winning at blackjack, doubling down, winning again, and then doubling down on top of that again. So hopefully it works. Hopefully I get the blackjack again. But it was just, let's double down. Let's do it again. Chris was a fan of Saw, and it's funny because people tell me that, and I wonder if they've ever even seen the movies. Chris does, because he will reference scenes from like Saw 3, and I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, it's the scene in Saw 3 in the second act. And I'll go back, and I'm like, oh shit, he's right. So he knows his stuff. Someone brought me a resume, and I realized that one of my favorite Drake music videos, it's a song called, oh my God, I just snapped on it. God's Plan. So they brought in this video, God's Plan. It's one of my favorite Drake videos. And they said, do you want to meet with this DP? And I said, don't meet with him, hire him. That guy's amazing. So Jordan came in, we met. He was exactly what I was looking for. He was hungry. And he wanted to prove himself. And he had done all of these videos that I watched and I think are great. And he's been great on set. He's been positive the entire time. And it's very easy to get negative. Long hours, watching people be tortured for endless hours. And Jordan's just been this burst of positivity on set and found really creative ways to light things that I never in a million years would have thought of.